Hey guys, it's Kat and I'm back today to talk about the last empties of my 2018. So this is the 9th empties video and this concludes the products from the last month, and also I'm concluding the whole empties of the year. So as my empties videos have been coming out, I sort of tally up the value of the products that I've used up, and then in this video at the end I'm going to tell you not exactly, but roughly how much product, like the value of all the products I used up, and also break down the categories. How many shampoos, how many foundations. I've done all that. I've got it. So that's what we're doing right at the end. But I'll start by telling you the products that I've used up in December. Some of these products are from my project pan as well. So I'll start pulling out some body products that might be from my project pan, like this one. This is, oh, that's a bit bright. This is the Palmer's Cocoa Butter Moisturiser with SPF 15. I found this, I wouldn't repurchase this. I don't mind Palmer's Cocoa Butter. I think it's a nice sort of thick body lotion. It's good for like the winter months. But I found that SPF 15, you should pretty much use this during the day to get the SPF benefits. But I found it too greasy to use during the day. So I would not purchase this. I'd probably in general purchase a lighter body lotion because I do find things on me get quite greasy, but I especially wouldn't use this during the day, so I wouldn't bother getting the SPF 15 one. So I wouldn't repurchase that, but generally I don't mind Palmer's products. I also used up a Jergens body lotion. This is the one that I kept next to my bed. I'm the kind of person that I find it really hard to sleep if I have really sort of dry or hot feet or hands. So I always keep hand cream and body lotion next to my bed. So if I start feeling like my feet are too dry, I'll use some, body lotion on my feet. And this is the one that's been next to my bed for like the past year or something. It takes a while to get through them. But this is a Jergens Ultra Healing Extra Dry Skin Moisturizer. It was nice. I like Jergens. I've got a few other products of theirs. So I would definitely repurchase this brand in the future. I'd probably try different ones. Like I've got some that have, I think it's like oils and stuff in it now. So, but I do like Jergens as a brand, so I would repurchase that. Another product that was in my project pan, this is by Bondi Sands, and it's the Everyday Gradual Tanning Milk. I really liked this. Now this was a lot thinner than the Palmer's one, so I did use this mostly during the day. It's a very, very thin moisturizer, and it does give you a bit of a tint, which was good. So I mainly use this on my legs, and what I liked about it was when you first use it, or the first couple of times you use it, I find that the color it creates might look a little bit yellowy, orangey, but like soft. So it's not like a bold tan, it's a really subtle tan, and it can look a little bit patchy, but I found that if you apply this like every second day, it actually builds to a really natural looking tan, and it fades off really evenly, and you just sort of maintain it. So I actually really liked this, and it got to a point where when I used it up, I was like, oh, what am I going to use now? I've only got like legit fake tans, like fake tans that will like turn you from fair to quite deep like really quickly, and I'm like, oh, should I repurchase this? I've got too many fake tans to worry about repurchasing this right now, but I really liked it and I would repurchase it in the future. So I'm not a huge tanner, so that's why that sort of product's good for me. It's a real like easy to use gradual product, and it doesn't give you a big tan effect, but that's what I liked about it. So I would repurchase that. Another body product, this is by Bioderma. This is an Atoderm Ultra Rich Foaming Gel. I like this product. I mainly use this when I've had tattooing done. So for example, I pulled it out when I got that one done because it's a really gentle, fragrance-free, great wash for if you've got skin problems, and when you do get tattooing, like your skin's really, really raw, fragrances and stuff, it's not good for it. So I pulled this out a few months ago when I had that done, and I like it. And whenever I smell this, I think of healing tattoos because that's when I started using this. So I wouldn't buy this. It's quite expensive. I wouldn't buy it on just for a regular body wash, but if I had any skin issues or if I had more tattooing done and I needed something that was like really sensitive and not stripping, no fragrance and whatnot, I would definitely go for this product again. Another Bioderma product, and this was the product, once again, that was next to my bed. So I used the Jergens body lotion on my feet and legs at night, and I used this on my hands. So this is the Atoderm hand repair cream. I didn't love this. I didn't think it was bad. It was sort of like a fragrance-free, just hand cream. I sort of like fragranced hand creams. I suppose when you're going to bed, and this is why I use this at night, you don't, oh, dropping things. You don't need like something that smells nice, and you just need it to do its job, and it was fine for that. But it wasn't my favorite hand cream, and I like hand chemistry more, which I think has been changed. The name of hand chemistry has been changed, but I prefer that one, or I prefer ones that are a little bit like lighter and have a nice scent. I don't know. I find this. The scent in hand creams, it makes the experience a bit nicer for me, but that was just a basic hand cream. I probably wouldn't repurchase it, but it was fine. It worked well. Another Project Pan product, and this one was really hard to use up by the end of the year. I've got a tiny bit left in there, but it's really hard to get out. Let's see if I can, sort of comes out in little dribs and drabs. Not really. This is a fragrance by DKNY, so it's the Be Desired fragrance. So in general, I really like this range from DKNY, the Be Delicious range. I think I like the original green one more than this limited edition one that had that sort of ombre silver to green metallic lid. This was a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more sweet and a little less fresh, but they are very sweet, fresh fragrances. And I mainly wanted to use this up because I've had it for quite a few years now. I thought it was a nice sort of summer fragrance, and I'm trying to like really minimize my fragrance collection right now. So I used that up. I liked it. I wouldn't repurchase it. But the one in the range that I would repurchase, and I do have one of, and I really like it, is the Blossom one. That one's great, and I'd probably repurchase that one and keep that one in my collection. But this one was nice, but you know, it's limited edition anyway, so I think it's gone now. But yeah, I wouldn't repurchase that. I'd try other ones first. I used up a pretty expensive serum. This is from Ultraceuticals, and it is the Ultra A Skin Perfecting Serum Concentrate. So this is a retinol sort of product, and it's quite a strong one, and you can only get it after you've had like a skin consult. So I thought it was going to do really amazing things, but I didn't notice any difference. So I currently have a retinol product that is like a much cheaper version. I've also got one that is a higher end version. So I'm going to use those and see where I should put my money, because this was pretty expensive. And with this, I didn't go through the retinol uglies. Like I found it really easy to sort of work. I used it every second night, and then I sort of built it up to most nights. I didn't see any like great difference in my skin to warrant the price of this, which was like $158. So I'm not repurchasing that, sadly. Let's talk about these things, get them out of the way. I used up a Senka. I didn't actually use this up. I'll explain. So this is the Senka Perfect Watery Oil. So it is a cleansing oil. And when I was in Japan last year, or by the time you're watching this, the year before, 2017, I picked up a bottle of this oil and then also a refill. So this is the refill. The bottle is a bit bigger than this refill. So I think this refill is 180 mils, but the bottle is like 200 and something. So I used up the bottle, the product in the bottle, which I still have in my bathroom, because then I filled the bottle up with this. So I used up the bottle. I didn't use up this, but this is currently being used up. You get it? You get it. So yeah, I don't mind this cleansing oil. It's quite affordable. You can now buy it in Daiso in Australia. I don't know if you can buy these refill sort of packs, but yeah, it's a decent sort of affordable cleansing oil. I still prefer other ones, so I probably wouldn't repurchase this, but I do have this one still on the go because I've got the half full bottle now. So yeah, there's that. I used up some wipes. These are by L'Oreal. They're the Revitalift Rejuvenating Makeup Removing Wipes. These are fine. I mainly use makeup wipes for, I usually use baby wipes. I find makeup wipes are a bit expensive. I use baby wipes or something like that to sort of tidy up makeup areas and like wipe my hands. I often like to keep them in my bag. So if I'm like out and about, and you can't wash your hands, I might wipe my hands. So, you know, I use them for various things other than, I don't actually use them to remove my makeup unless I'm really desperate, but these ones weren't too bad. They felt like they were quite moisturizing for a makeup wipe, but I wouldn't repurchase them because I don't generally use makeup wipes. But if I come across them, I will use them. I also used up one sheet mask this month. I didn't do many sheet masks. This is a Garnier Moisture Bomb. So it's a hydrating one and it's got pomegranate. I thought this was okay. I don't know. I didn't think it did amazing things, but it was a pretty affordable one. So I don't know. I wouldn't repurchase it, but I do have a few more Garnier ones that I'll continue to use. I was going to try to force myself to use a lot more sheet masks this month. Clearly, I didn't get around to it. All right, now I've got 3 serums from The Ordinary. These were all in my project pan and I use them all up. So they're all different things. They do different things. They've got different prices. So the Buffet serum is supposed to do a multitude of different things, and this is the most expensive one out of the bunch. I didn't love this. I didn't hate this. I didn't think it did much. And after using it I was just like, I don't see any benefits. It's a little bit tacky on the skin. I don't really love it. So I wouldn't repurchase this. I also used up a 2% retinoid. This I didn't mind. I think for an affordable retinoid, I think it did it was all right. I didn't see any amazing results, but I think it's probably a good place to start if you wanted to try retinols, but I probably wouldn't repurchase that. And the one that I have actually repurchased is the Niacinamide 10%. So this is actually the most affordable one in Australia. I think this is $9 something full price. And I picked up a few of these because these are designed to help sort of reduce blemishes, and I found that when I was using these up in my project pan, I was sort of taking this down my neck and onto my chest, and often, especially in summer when it's hot and sweaty and gross, I can get some breakouts sort of on my chest, and I found that this did sort of not dramatically reduce it, but noticeably reduce it. So for $10, I was like, I'm buying some more of you, so I bought a couple of these. I've got couple of backups. So so out of these 3, I would repurchase this, and I have repurchased it. And if you do get breakouts, it's a really affordable way to sort of help minimize them. Okay, a Triumph. I actually just used this up today and I could get a little bit more out of it, but I'm going to conclude it as being used up. It is my MAC Velvet Teddy lipstick. I love this lipstick. I'm wearing it now. It is like there's this much left of it. So you can see there's a little tiny bit left, but when I'm putting it on, it sort of does, the rim does sort of scrape around my lips. So I consider this as done. But if I wanted to, I can sort of dig into it and use more product. I do know that lipsticks generally do have quite a lot of product in there. So if you're desperate to use your product up and get most value out of it, then you can definitely do that. This is very old, so that's why I was in my project pan, and also I've got another fresh new Velvet Teddy, so I am happy to consider this done. I might put a little bit more on. I love this lipstick. I had such a good time using this up. When I introduced this in my project pan, I actually rediscovered how much I loved it. I bought this lipstick years ago, before the Kylie Jenner sort of trend that made it popular and sell out. I bought it before then, and it's a color that I really love. And I find that it goes with so many so many eye looks and so many makeup looks. I love this, and it's been an absolute pleasure using it up, to the point where if I sort of got rid of all my nude lipsticks and just used this, I would not be disappointed because it's fantastic. So I have a backup of this, so I would repurchase it. It's a great lipstick. Just some random stuff. I used up a complexion. This is a complexion water from Fig and Yarrow. I got this in a subscription box a little while ago. So this is not the full size. This is, I think the full size is 4 times bigger than this. This was just like a rose, sandalwood and neroli sort of face spritz thing. So you can use this as like a toner or just like a refresher or in your hair or on your body. I just thought it was like water with a scent to it, so I wouldn't repurchase this. I mainly just focused on using it up because it was around and I don't want it anymore, so I wouldn't repurchase that. I also used up this is the Benefit, their Real Tinted Primer. So this is a lash primer, but instead of it being like a white lash primer, it's actually like a brown one. I thought this was a nice product. I don't use lash primers, so I wouldn't repurchase it. But for a lash primer, I thought it was pretty decent. Also, if you want a decent brown mascara that like subtly gives you some definition, like if you're a male and you want to, like if you've got light lashes, this might be a good one to use because on its own, it was a nice product, and also to help sort of separate and lengthen a little bit. I thought it did a good job. I just, like I said, I wouldn't repurchase it because it's not a step that I usually do in my makeup routine. But if you do like lash primers, I quite like this. This was just a sample version, so the bigger one the full size is much bigger, but I quite liked it. I used up, this is in my project pan as well, I used up this Innisfree cushion foundation. So there's probably a little bit left in this, but I got to a point where I'm like, this is actually a hassle applying, so I'm gonna call it done. It also came with a case, but I just popped it out for ease of use. Whenever I went to go open this lid thing, it'd sort of pop out of the case anyway, so I thought, fuck it, I'm not gonna use a case. You're annoying me. I didn't love this. I think when I first started using this in winter, I quite liked it. It's too light for me. Even in the dead of winter, it was a little bit too light for me, but it was a nice amount of coverage. This was the Skinny Cover Fit cushion in light beige, and I found that it did have a good effect on the skin. So I like the look of this when you first put it on. It just didn't last very well on me. So when I first started using this in winter, I think it did last a bit better because it was not as sort of like hot, and you know, you don't sweat as much and whatnot, and I don't get as oily in winter. But as soon as I started using this in the warmer months, it was just really difficult to use. I'd put it on and then within like 3 hours it'd be broken down on my nose. So I just sort of like, I had to mix this with other things to make it work, and I wouldn't repurchase this. It annoyed me. But you know, I think if you had drier skin, it might be a bit better. On my oily areas, it just melted off. All right, the last thing is a little sample that I also got from a subscription box, I think sometime last year, I don't know, maybe started last year. And this is a little sample, a 6 ml sample of a moisturizer. This is by the brand A Bit Hippie, and it is the magnesium moisturizer. So magnesium is good for sort of muscle problems, and about 2 weeks ago now, I actually hurt my back at the gym, and it is causing me discomfort. So right now, as I'm sitting on the floor, I'm like, after this, I'm gonna lie on the couch because my back hurts. So I tried to use this. I don't think it really had a huge effect. So I think the moisturizers aren't great for muscle problems, but magnesium oils are really good, and I've been using a cooling gel and whatnot, but I did try this and that's how I used it up, but I didn't think this was fantastic. So maybe if you have really like mild problems, then this might be all right for you, but otherwise I'd just say go a magnesium oil that actually works a lot faster. I've got one more thing that I used up, but I'm not going to add this to the value total because it's such a small sachet. It is the Red Carpet Color with a K, so RCK Body Glow in Dark. So this is like a bronzing cream product that you put on your body, and it does work pretty well. So I'll take a little bit out. But if you're the kind of person, and I'm definitely the kind of person, there we go, there's a bit, that when they go out, they want to have a bit of color on their skin, but they don't actually want a fake tan. These kind of products are really, really great, and they do tend to not transfer onto clothes. Oh, you can't really see the comparison because I've got tattoos, but it just adds a little bit of color to the skin without having to fake tan and look patchy and whatnot. So I think these products are really good. So yeah, I really like these when I'm going to, I don't know, birthdays or events, and I'm going to have my legs out or my arms out and I just don't want to fake tan. These are really, really good. And I wore this at a wedding. So that's how I use that up. But I definitely will look into more of these sort of products. I've got one from Mecca Max, and I find that too sparkly, like too shimmery. So this one is a nice amount of shimmer. It's a bit of a glow with a bit of color, but it's not too like, oh, you're wearing glitter all over your body. So I do like these types of products, and I would definitely look at buying more of them in the future. All right, so the time has come to announce what the value of all this was. So when I calculate the value, it's in Australian dollars, which is very different from like US dollars. Firstly, our dollar is probably, one of our dollars is worth like 72 US cents. So there's definitely a difference in our currency. So keep that in mind. Also, all our products include tax. There's no tax put on top of it. So, you know, we've got different economies. It is what it is. But for all these products that I used up, the value of it was 498 Australian dollars. So nearly just shy of $500. Okay, so the kicker is over the whole 9 empties videos from 2018, put in your guesses now of how, like, the value of all the products I used up, because it's quite high. I was quite surprised when I added all these up. It was a little bit shocking, but also I'm like, oh, I'm glad I got that much use out of a lot of these products. But the total for full retail value, a lot of these I get on sale and whatnot, but the full retail value of all the products I used in 2018 was $4,927 approximate. So that is the approximate value. I think it was a little bit higher because there are some products that I used up that I didn't feature in empties. So for example, I used up a couple of Lush shampoo bars and a few Lush products, like products that don't have packaging. So when I've used up like their soaps or their shampoo bars or whatever it is, and I don't have containers, I don't feature them in my empties, but I know that I have used a few more products. So I think if we did total up everything that I used up, it would be well over $5,000, but the products that I mentioned in these videos was $4,927, which is huge. Now, what I thought was interesting is the breakdown of how many products I've used this year. So once again, didn't include everything. I didn't include things like cotton rounds and stuff like that. I just thought I can't be bothered. But when we talk about makeup, I used up 2 primers, 7 foundations, it's a lot, 2 concealers, 2 powders, 5 setting or finishing sprays. I didn't even realize I used up that many. 1 blush, 3 bronzers, no highlighters, that doesn't surprise me. 2 eyeshadow primers, 1 eyeshadow. So what was that eyeshadow that I used up? Oh, I remember. That was actually a loose pigment that I used as a highlighter, but it was technically an eyeshadow. I used up 3 eyeliners, 6 mascaras, 6 sets of false lashes, which once again, I do reuse my false lashes quite a lot and I cut them in half. So for me, 1 set of false lashes, if I can get like 10 uses out of each half pair, I've got 20 uses out of 1 set of lashes. So for me, you know, I don't go through lashes heaps, but I do think I went through probably more than that. I just probably threw them out and I didn't keep the packaging to talk about them in empties. So I feel like I've used a lot more than that. I used 1 lash glue, 3 brow products, and from memory, it was a pomade. I think it was a brow pencil and then a double-ended brow pencil and brow gel, I think is what I used up. I used up 1 lip pencil, 2 lipsticks, only 2 lipsticks, and 1 lip balm. Now, I do have a lot of lip balms on the go, so it's sort of hard to use up lip balms, but only 1. All right, when it comes to scented products, I used up 6 perfumes, and it is sort of a goal of mine to get my perfume collection down to maybe like 3 or 4 perfumes that I like to use every single day. So I'm going to carry that over to 2019, but I think 6 perfumes is pretty good. I used up 6 candles and 1 diffuser. I think I used up a few more candles than that, but once again, not all of them actually made it into my empties videos. Then when we come to skincare, and keep in mind, some of these skincare items were like samples. I didn't include like sachets like this. So I didn't include really small things, but some of them were samples. I used up 3 sunscreens. All of those were full size. I used up 8 moisturizers, 8 serums, 2 eye creams. I used up 7 cleansers, 6 lots of cleansing wipes. I used 4 cleansing oils or balms. So I think there was 3 cleansing oils and 1 balm in there. So yeah, I like to use a cleansing oil and then cleanse. So I use 2 cleansers every day. Well, at night when I'm removing my makeup, and then I usually use micellar waters in the morning. So I used up 4 micellar waters, 3 scrubs, 1 mask, and 7 sheet masks. Now I have a lot of sheet masks, so 7 is really bad and I need to like work on improving that. So I will try in 2019 to finish more sheet masks. So when it comes to body products, I used up 3 hand washes. Now that was a little bit skewed as well because the hand wash that I keep in the bathroom is one that I keep refilling. So I haven't actually technically like included that in an empties, but I have used that up a couple of times and then I just keep topping it up. I used up 4 hand creams, 5 shower gels, 7 body lotions, and 1 foot peel. So they're body products. When it comes to hair, this is a little bit skewed as well. So In the empties that I featured this year, I've used up one shampoo. Now, I know I haven't used up just one shampoo because I shampoo my hair like twice a week. But I used up, I know there was 2 Lush solid shampoos, which I didn't include because I had no evidence of them. And also a couple of months ago, because I switched to trying to use some paraben sulfate-free products, I actually gave a lot of my hair products to my sister. So sort of like, yeah, I've used up at least 3 or 4 shampoos, but I also have 3 shampoos in my shower now. So yeah, I used up more than that. But technically I've used up 1 proper shampoo and 2 Lush shampoos as well. I used up 2 conditioners, 3 hair oils, but those are the small hair oils from like Husk, 1 hair mask and 1 dry shampoo. Then when it comes to other products, I used up 4 nail polishes, but they were all like top or base coats. I used up 2 nail polish removers, 2 brush cleaners, and 1 thing of vitamins, which was the Halo vitamins. I actually have a few vitamins on the go, but I never actually take them consistently to ever use them up. So yeah, I thought that was a bit of an insightful thing looking at what products I've used up in 2018. I might do a similar thing in 2019, but I'll see how I go. I'll see how I go. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed that. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.